Example, whatever the fear was, I would write the complete opposite on the other side of the paper. I had on there that I hated looking at my bank account. I was scared to look at my bank account because I feared there would not be enough. So the opposite of that on the right side of the paper is I love looking at my bank account because I know I always have money. You start to rewrite this, and then you have a completely new side of the paper with positive beliefs around whatever it is that you felt lack around. From there, what you're gonna do is put it into action. You're gonna look at that right side of your paper 3 times a day, when you wake up, at lunchtime, when you go to sleep, because it's true. Repetition is everything. Just like when you go to the gym and you start working on your physical body, do you see progress overnight? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You have to keep going to the gym. You have to keep working on yourself. It takes repetition, it takes consistency. And especially if you have these deep beliefs, like I did, where it was tied to like my worthiness, I had a lot of work to do. Some of that took more than just looking at a piece of paper, repeating to myself these things. It took therapy, it took other shit. It was dark, it was hard, it was not fun. A lot of you aren't gonna wanna hear this, but I'm gonna be real with you. We all have different levels of work we're gonna have to do. Some of you might be able to get this overnight, and that's great. I'm happy for you. But some of you aren't. And I was one of the people who didn't do this overnight. You guys have been following my journey. Some of you know how long it's taken. It's taken years, right? That's besides the point. Eliminate time from your mind. Don't worry about the time. Worry about the work. We all have different levels of trauma. We all came from different situations. We all have different roles in society. So, you know, for example, when I say roles in society, I mean like not only do we have to worry about like the families we come from and the situations we grew up in, but also who you are in society. Like when I mentioned earlier, being a Black woman added a layer to this situation for me. And I had to rewire how I looked at myself in society because I didn't think my Blackness allowed me to get to a certain point because I had barely seen it. The only wealthy, rich people I was exposed to was like Oprah, okay, and there's only one of her, so it's like I'm gonna shoot for the moon, I guess, but also is like I only saw really like singers and athletes and rappers. Can I just see like a rich Black person? I didn't see it. You have to rewrite your story. It doesn't matter if you've seen this shit or not. You be the first then. It took patience, it took consistency, but I was dedicated to it. If you're having trouble being consistent, it's probably because you don't have a good reason why yet. If you just want money to flex on your friends, don't do this, okay? Who gives a shit what your friends think about you, okay? What do you want to do this for? What kind of change do you want to have in the world? Who do you want to help? My reasons why are so much deeper than flexing on the gram, which is why like I don't really talk about this stuff. I don't talk about money because I don't care for people to know. The only reason I'm talking about money is because I want to help other people break through this toxicity, like this toxic mindset that was put on us for no reason. My why is you guys, but my why is also my family. And you guys are seeing that. Like I literally just announced AJ is quitting his 9-to-5 job to work full-time with me. Like this has been a goal for so long because him leaving his corporate job is more than just him joining me. It's like we get freedom. We get to decide what our work life looks like. We get to decide if we want to take a trip and work from wherever the fuck, we get to do that. We create our life. And I think a lot of people, their desire to have more money isn't just to have more money. It's often tied to freedom. It's often tied to just like getting your life back. And that's what it is for me. I want to put my family on. I want to make sure my family's good. I want to create generational wealth. My reasons are deep. So sit down and think about your reasons why before you even go into all this stuff on why you want to do it, because the inner work is going to slap you sideways. It's going to shake you, it's going to rock your world, and it's going to make you really feel uncomfortable. But what kept me focused and what kept me grounded was that I had too many reasons why I could not give up on myself or the people I want to help. So once you rewrite your narrative, we have to put action behind it. I want to be very clear about this. When I say put action behind it, start to think in the way that you want to eventually become, if that makes sense. Broke bitch Bria, okay? She behaved in a way that did not energetically align with millionaire Bria. What would the wealthy version of myself do in this situation? Small example that made a huge fucking difference was looking at my bank account. I used to feel myself get nervous when I needed to check my credit card statement. I used to feel myself get tense, get scared. My heart would start beating, my hands would start sweating, and that's your body telling you, like, we fear this thing, right? So I had to literally sit there. One day I opened up my bank account and I just sat there and I stared at it and I imagined what it would feel like to look at my bank account and see X amount of dollars. I was very specific, be specific, okay? I sat there, I stared at my bank account, but this isn't like a wish upon a star thing. The purpose of that exercise was to let me tap in energetically to what a wealthier version of myself would feel like. So then, you know, I could be specific. I could go back and write down in my journal how I want my bank account to make me feel and be very specific about those feelings. Feelings are so powerful. It's more powerful in my opinion than saying like, I am rich, I am statements. Feeling it and putting your energy out into the universe is like insanely powerful. And I have seen things, my circumstances change very quickly when I can get there on an energetic feeling level, if that makes sense. I would sit there, I would force myself to not fear my bank account. Another tip that really helps me with that is gratitude. Seeing what I did have in those moments of what still kind of felt like lack is also powerful, y'all. Gratitude sends out such a good vibration, and when you're feeling down and you can tap into gratitude and what you do have and being content, it cancels out the lack, in my opinion. I don't have proof, but I can just tell you that when I tap into gratitude in my darkest times, I quickly change the situation. Quickly. So whenever you are feeling some kind of way, whether it is about a person, whether it is about a circumstance, your bank account, your mental state, whatever, sit there and think about like 3 things that you are genuinely grateful for, because I promise you, your life is not as terrible as you think. You are focusing on the negative parts, so you are going to continue to see the negative grow. Whatever you are fixated on is going to grow. Okay? Even if you have one thing to be grateful for, focus on that shit. Put all your energy on that. Let that grow. When you see good, more good comes to you. One of my followers messaged me and she's like, is this like fake it till you make it? And I was like, you know what? Yes and no. Because no, I am not telling you to go out and spend $10,000 on something you don't need. Because I don't necessarily believe wealthy people would do that. That's kind of stupid. When you don't have money, you don't spend money. I'm not telling you to spend money you don't have and get yourself into debt. Your higher wealthy self wouldn't do that. But just the way your higher wealthy self walks through life would be different, right? Gratitude, like I said, is everything. I would make transactions, and I know I even used to be like nervous when I would go to Starbucks. Okay, get $3 drink, hand in my card, but ooh, I hope I have money. But what is that energy? So what I did instead was when I would pay for stuff, I would just say, thank you, God, thank you, universe, for this coffee, thank you for this. Gratitude, baby. The last thing I'm gonna say about this whole thing is be patient. You cannot fool the universe. You cannot fool God. You will get what you are asking for when you are ready for it. And if you're not receiving it, it's not time. There could be a lot of reasons though. It doesn't just have to be that you're not ready. It could be that maybe you have some people in your life that need to go before you get these blessings. It could be a lot of reasons. Make sure your circle is clean. Make sure these people aren't bringing you down, aren't energy suckers. Make sure they're not taking more than they're giving to you, okay? I know that can be hard, but sometimes we don't receive the blessings we have till we clear ourselves energetically from the people who are around us. So be patient and know that everything happens at the right time for you, and just trust in that. Also remember, whatever you think is your reality is your reality. So you have got to change what's going on in here to see it here.